Hello and welcome. What, 6.5 hours, 7 hours to go for the India-Pakistan clash, and it's a very different clash. It is a very different clash with tremendous amount of emotion, tremendous amount of latent anger, tremendous amount of protest associated with it, and I honestly don't find it as a fault. I absolutely don't. And the theme of this particular video is how the Indians have also appropriated that as part of their preparation. The social responsibility that they are carrying, Gargi, and Ryan Tendashkata mentioned it. The team is aware that it's not a cricket match. They have discussed it, that it's not a cricket match, and they will stand up to that through their performance, is what the fielding coach said.
Absolutely. Look, at the end of the day, be it Ryan Tendashkar, be it a Shubman Gill, be it Surya Kumar Yadav, or anyone in that Indian management or staff, they are all at the end of the day doing their job. They are working under the guidelines and the directions of the government of India. It is the government of India that has laid out a policy. There has been crystal clear instruction, no head-to-head sporting engagements with Pakistan, but when it comes to global tournaments, you will participate, you will adhere to that Olympic charter, you will, you can't not participate in games that are in a global tournament, and Pakistan is there. Now, at the same time, when we talk about the sentiments that are coming in from the public back in India, be it boycotting, be it, let me
Give it to us and then we'll try and see. Okay.
No idea.
Vimal.
Knew it. Vimal.
Okay. Let's continue. No, it's okay.
It's fine.
We've actually found a phone, so we'll give it back.
Yes. It's important to protect our community as well.
100%. And I've always said this, that the community will be protected and each one of us will stand up for each other.
Absolutely. The point that I was making was, when it comes to the public back in India, we understand the sentiments. So does the team. Ryan made it very, very clear. And when it comes to the calls for boycotting, we understand that as well. We understand where that is coming from. And if you feel like boycotting the match, you don't feel like watching it, don't do it. No one is stopping you from doing that. No one is saying that what you're doing is wrong. But you also have to understand that the players, in fact, us as well, the media that is here, we are doing a job.
And I've said this many times, and I've said this in an earlier show today at 10 a.m. that boycott, according to me, and by the way, it's my opinion, boycott, according to me, is not the solution. By boycotting, what do? You actually open a Pandora's box. Where does boycott stop? You stop with the women's? Do you stop with the T20 World Cup on home soil in February? Do you stop beyond that? Where do you stop? How do you then say that, you know what, we will not boycott a particular tournament, and then Pakistan will turn back and say, oh, then why did you boycott the Asia Cup or the Women's World Cup or the T20? Boycott cannot be a solution. Rather, use the sports field.
Vimal.
Use the sports field. Use the sports field to boycott. Use the sports field to protest, make a point, and then absolutely voice your sentiment and voice your opinion. Suppose, and make no mistake, suppose you boycott. How many countries of the world do you reckon will know about that boycott? Anybody? Do you think a United States or a Britain or a Australia or anybody will know about the fact that in India you have boycotted this game? No, you won't. But if India decides to wear black armbands, if India decides to not shake hands, if India decides to find innovative ways of challenging, of protesting, of countering this narrative that we are playing a cricket game. No, it's not. We are playing under compulsion. How many countries in the world will watch this? You tell me. That broadcast which will go out and millions will watch, everybody will know that this is a very different cricket game that's being played out there. And everybody would consume it, that India is taking a stand against terror. India is protesting in the manner that they can. The players are doing it in the manner that they can. And that is our protest. We journalists will write about it, voice about it, talk about it. That will become the headline. Why do you not want to use that? And that's my only point, that protest for God's sake, but protest in the manner that we can. Otherwise, you tell me, we are not part of the Indian army. We will never be part of the Indian army. So what's our contribution? Boycott. But that's passive contribution. How do we engage? This is our contribution, for God's sake, and that's my only point.
You know, Boria, the point, and I want to take that further. The point that I want to make here, let's put aside cricket for a little bit and think about, a tournament like a World Championship, an athletics World Championship. Let's talk about Asian Games. Let's talk about a badminton World Championship or anything like that. If, 10 young athletes from India are going who are not at the level of a Neeraj Chopra, who are not at the level of a Satvik and Chirag, and many such others who have now won lots of laurels in sport. These young athletes, if India says that we will not send our athletes to global tournaments because Pakistan is participating in those athletes, isn't that counterproductive?
That's what I've been saying.
How is that helping our nation?
No, I've said this a million times. All Pakistan needs to do is a simple thing. Put an athlete, because that will put a stop to Indian sport. Do you want that to happen? For God's sake, no. For God's sake, no. Indian sport will be guided by Indian sentiments, India's positioning, not by a rogue country taking a stand, for God's sake. It is very easy. If Arshad Nadeem plays, Neeraj will not play. If the Women's World Cup, which is our event on our soil, it's our event, the Pakistan team plays, India will give a walkover. Where does that put our team? India will not have Olympic ambitions. India will not have Commonwealth ambitions. India will not take the home World Cup in February, March. The T20, Surya Kumar Yadav's team will give a walkover. What does that do to Surya Kumar? Look, I know you will tell me about 1996 West Indies and Australia taking a stand of not going to Sri Lanka. This India is a different India. It has global ambitions. Pakistan doesn't. Pakistan doesn't. This is a different world. International diplomacy is different. Pakistan will go crying to every country of the world saying, look, they are not playing us. They are not giving visas. They are not allowing us. So how does this country host an international event?
Exactly.
And we are playing into this narrative by saying boycott. For God's sake, don't think that the players are immune. For God's sake, don't think that the players are not thinking about it. They are thinking about it. Their dressing room is thinking about it. They are talking about it, and that's what the coach said.
Look, again, when we talk about global tournaments and the fact that India is now, portraying itself as a serious host for global tournaments. We're looking at an Asia Cup, of Hockey Asia Cup, we're looking at Junior World Cup, we're looking at Para World Championships, we're looking at 2030 Commonwealth Games, we're looking at a possible bid for the 2036 Olympics. Now, like you said, the point that you were making, if the Olympic Association, if the IOC looks back, turns back to India and says, you're not allowing Pakistan to participate, how does that help the global, sporting community? How does that help anyone? We will not give you the hosting rights. What happens then? Now look at the fact that the government of India is putting in serious effort to portray India as a serious sporting nation, as a sporting powerhouse. Look at the revolution that we've seen in Odisha. Look at the effort that's been being put in by the Assam government. Look at the effort that's been put in from Bihar government. Serious inflation when it comes to sports budgets, facilities, infrastructure, scholarships to players, grassroots level programs. We've spoken to Adil Sumariwala multiple times. He's highlighted how many grassroots level programs there are to get athletes. Now, if all these athletes, if we don't send them to global tournaments, what are we doing it all for?
You cannot sacrifice your country's sport and ambitions and aspirations of thousands of Indians at the altar of Pakistan by saying we will boycott. What you are doing is empowering Pakistan. Yeah. That's what you are doing. And I have a problem with that. If anyone thinks that Gargi or I are any less a nationalist, or our heart doesn't go out to anyone who has suffered in Pahalgam, look boss, you are mistaken. By the fact that you are boycotting doesn't make you a greater nationalist or even a lesser nationalist. It's a difference of opinion. And we believe that boycott isn't the solution, the point that she's making, because our calling is sport. The players' calling is going out there and playing. And we actually believe this is the way forward. Play them, make the point, protest, make the point in front of 25,000 at the Dubai International Stadium and maybe 100 million people watching. You can make a larger point out there through sport, and that's the fact. You know, Ryan Tenderskater's press conference was unusual. Imagine, he's not an Indian,
No.
he's a Dutchman. And even a Dutchman, when the question was asked, it was a spontaneous answer. So clearly, in his mind, he knows that this is a different game.
And it was a very sensitive, well-thought answers.
The cultural context
Yes.
was not lost on Ryan Tenderskater. So Gargi, when you are watching that game tonight in 6.5 hours from now, what will be your thoughts? My thought will be, this is a match that should be utilized as a
100%.
platform for protest, making the larger point to the world, and obviously for India to win. That's my point of view. What will be your thought when you go out to the press box and watch this game and cover this game?
I will be looking for little acts of protests within whatever, guidelines or whatever they can do without getting in trouble, without getting in too much trouble. Wear black armbands, like you
What's the trouble?
suggested.
So be it. I mean, fine.
A fine or
Big
breach
deal.
of conduct,
Big
something
deal.
like that. Exactly. By too much, I mean serious implications. If that's involved, then don't do it. But little acts of protest,
100%.
I will be looking out for them. And I want them to happen. I want a refusal of handshakes.
I want spectators to carry
Absolutely.
posters. I
Absolutely.
want spectators to carry posters which says that this country is a rogue nation. I want spectators to say, stop the cross-border terrorism. I want spectators to make this point. I want us to continuously voice these concerns in our
Absolutely.
coverage. That's our job.
100%.
How do you expect us to voice the protest otherwise? You tell me. By boycotting, where do we get? We will boycott, somebody else will do it. The match will go on. Big deal. Our voice will only be heard if we use our platform to go and voice this sentiment that this is a wrongdoing that has been perpetrated on us. And sport allows us to do that. That is exactly what we will be waiting and watching for tonight when we go and cover that game.
And I'm sure the Indian management is thinking about something like that.
They should.
They should
They
be.
should.
They should
Gautam
be.
Gambhir is a hardcore nationalist. I had a brief chat with Gautam.
If anyone can do it, it's Gautam Gambhir.
Absolutely. Gautam Gambhir for the longest time. I had a brief chat last evening before this recording when he was leaving, and we were just talking about things. And Gautam Gambhir, I can tell you this, is no less a nationalist than anyone. Anyone. And I think these people are sensitive enough. I think these people are conscious enough. I think they know what their responsibility is. Don't underestimate this Indian team from the standpoint of social responsibility, because they are acutely aware of where they stand and they are ambassadors of this country. So the entire bloc who say protest and boycott, do it. But do not label these people, the players or us, as anti-national.
Do not direct your hate towards professionals who are just trying to do their job. They are working under the directions of the government of India and the BCCI. And as Ryan said, he talked about guarding the team. He talked about being sensitive, but at the same time staying professional and going out there and doing what they're supposed to do, which is play good cricket and beat Pakistan. Now, when we talk about this guarding, it's important, but at the same time, I feel like India should make a protest, something has to be done which reminds the people of India, the people back at home, that this is not out of indifference, that they haven't forgotten, that while they are professionals doing their job, they also want to make a statement.
Indeed. And I've said this a million times, I'm saying it one more time, that this is their way.
Yeah.
They aren't people to have their AK-47s and go to the border and fight. This is their way to fight and make a telling comment in front of the world. And I'm pretty sure the Indians will do that. Look, the recipe to beat Pakistan is you have to take emotion out of it.
Yeah.
When you are playing that game, you have to be ruthless out there. The strategy, if you think that, I'm doing it for the martyrs, I'm doing it for the victims of Pahalgaon, you will not be able to do it because it's a ruthless cricket game out there. If you do it, and that's your job, if you do it, then you dedicate. What did Tendulkar do? What did Sachin Tendulkar do at the end of that 103 not out in Chennai in 2008? He dedicated it to the victims of the attack of 26/11. And he said to me on that occasion that if for a fleeting second it brought a smile to the face of some person, my job is done. I am not one to go and protest out there, and you can go and read Playing It My Way. Sachin Tendulkar said, my way of contributing, that fleeting smile to alleviate the pain, if I was able to contribute, that's where my job is. And that's what I think this Indian team should do. I empathize, I appreciate, I respect every person who has been hurt by this attack of Pahalgam. But allow the Indian team to contribute to, trying to do their bit on the cricket pitch. They can't do it in any other way. They can't do it with guns and bombs or missiles. Their way is the cricket ball and the cricket bat.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think you hit the nail on the head. But
last couple of minutes on the show,
yes.
Your formula, 5 points to beat Pakistan.
Like you said, take the emotion out of it. Remember, take the emotion out of it, but don't be indifferent. Remember what you're doing it for. We have spoken about this for the past couple of days, that this is a match you cannot lose. You have to go out there, you have to put your best foot forward, and just do your job well. India is the far superior side, and as Ryan said, and he said it very well, that going out there, staying professional and winning this game is our way of showing our love for the country and the fact that we are also compassionate to the sentiment of the public back home.
My 5 points, cricketing points. We've made the larger points, the macro points, and that's been the principal part of this show. My 5 cricketing points, number 1, a strong opening stand from Shubman Gill and Abhishek Sharma. From the practice that we have seen, both of them looked in superb touch, in great sync. Abhishek Sharma's parents are here, father is here to watch the game. Shubman Gill has looked in sublime touch, the two get along very, very well. One will bat with slight amount of, Abhishek Sharma will go gung-ho from ball 1. Shubman Gill will mix caution with aggression and will perhaps be the man to hold it together. And then I have got tremendous faith in Captain Surya Kumar Yadav and his ability to play those big shots and take the bull by the horn. He looked tremendous to me in India's net session. Number 3, Varun Chakravarti and Kuldeep Yadav will be my trump cards, because those 8 overs, you have the ability to nail Pakistan and respond to the claim that Mohammad Nawaz is the world's best spinner. He's not. Kuldeep Yadav and Varun Chakravarti are better spinners according to me, and they will stand up. Number 4 is that man Jasprit Bumrah. Against Pakistan, the best of Bumrah in that World Cup of 2024, he was bowling like a man possessed. It is time that Jasprit Bumrah puts his hand up and nails Pakistan at the top of the order. And 5, Hardik Pandya. Hardik Pandya always has this innate ability to step up in big games, in big moments, in big occasions, and make a telling statement. And that's what I'm expecting Hardik Pandya to do. This is my 5-point formula as far as India-Pakistan is concerned. And as I said, I leave the last words to Gargi with a very clear statement that I think India stand 80-20 favourites as they go into this match.
100%. You can't undermine Pakistan when it comes to the technicalities and when we come to the cricket side of it. But at the same time, I've said this multiple times, and I have a hunch that India should not have a problem, or will not have a problem, defeating Pakistan in this game. That will be, as Ryan said, their way of showing the love for their country. But like you said, 80-20 India, and looking forward to the game.
Absolutely.
And looking forward for a symbolism from the Indian team as well.
And in our coverage. Looking forward to making a difference with our coverage.
Yes.
And I hope we do that.